Hello viewers, and welcome to yet another episode of our introduction to HTML and CSS crash course. In this video, we are going to look at how we can create forms in HTML. And when we talk of form, we use form to accept user inputs. And this is an example of HTML form. And when you look at this, let's assume that you have a website and you want the user to log in. Before the user can log in, the user has to enter his or her email address and his password. So let's take this for example. This is my email address, boaten.em@gmail.com, and I enter my password. Let's see this. Now you see that the password is hidden. You cannot see the actual figure. You can decide to set the password to this, and when the user click on login, it takes the user to another form. This is what is called form in HTML. So let's look at how we can create form in HTML. Before we do that, let me delete this and let's look at it. Now, this is completely our HTML startup. And if you are following this video, by now you know how to write this code. And to create a form in HTML, you need a tag called form tag. And you have your tag close. Now, HTML form contains so many elements, and the most popular one is what is called the input element. And these elements are used to accept text. We can use it to select images and other things. So now the popular one that we normally use is the input elements. So we use the tag called the input tag, and this is the input tag. Sorry for the typo. And this is the input type. And you have to set so many attributes. So we have one of the attributes called the type attribute, and this is telling us what type of input do we want to accept from the user. Do we want to accept text or any other? And I will explain this in a moment. So we can set our type attribute to be equal to text. And this one is telling us that we are accepting text from the user. Here we can change it to password and others. So here we are telling the web browser that we are accepting text from the user. And we can also have another attribute called placeholder. Now, what this placeholder simply does is that this placeholder displays text to the user, and when the user click on the input or the text box, it disappears. So now we can just tell the user that please enter your name, and we can have our input tag close. So now this is our first input tag. Let me save this and let's refresh. Now, if you don't know how to do it, you click on File and you go to Save As. Now, I already have the file here, but if you don't have it, you just type the name of the file that you want to save. So let's assume that I want to use the index.html. So I have it here, then you click on Save. Since I have it saved here, I'll not bother myself. So if you have it, you just click on the Save or the Control X. Now let's go to our website and refresh. Now when we refresh here, now you see that we have please enter your name as our text box. Now when I enter anything here, you see that it becomes visible. We want to accept text. Now let's create another field here. So we are going to create our inputs. And here, now we are going to set the type to be equal to password. And we are going to set the placeholder to be equal to, let's say, please enter your password. And we are going to have it close. Now, when we save this and go to our website and refresh the page, now you see that we have this one here. So now, when I type this, anything on the field, you see that it is hidden because we have set the type to password. And when you set the type to password here, now anything that you type inside the text box become what? Invisible or hidden. Now let's continue. So in order to push this one down, if you've been following the tutorial, we have a tag called the break tag. So we can set our break tag here to separate it. And now let's create another input tag. So we have another input here. have another input here, and let's set the type to be equal to submit. And here, instead of using the placeholder, we have to use what is called the value, and the value attribute, we set it to be equal to login. Now we have our input close. Now by default, if we do not write this value here, let's assume that, let me just cut this and show you something. And I come to the website and refresh here. Now you see that we have, by default, we have submit here. By default, we have submit there. This is our submit button. So the name or the text that will appear will be submit. And if you don't want that to appear and you want to customize it, so you have to set the value attribute, and you can set it to login, you can set it to sign up, or any other thing that suits your choice. So now this is our form. Now if you look at the previous one, we were having our name here. So you can use label, or you can just write email. Let's assume that you write your email. Like the previous one, we're having email, and we have our break tag like this. And here too, we're having our password. And we were having our break tag as this. So now we have our form create. So now you can enter your email here. You can enter your email here, and you can also have your password entered, and you can set it to login. Now this is not the only form element that we have, and this is not the only type attribute. We also have another type attribute. So here you can have another input, and you can set the type to be equal to file. And what this does is that this allows you to select files from your computer if you want to upload file. So now let's save this and let me refresh and show it to you. So now we have choose a file here. Now before I explain, let me break it so that it will look visible here. So now let me put this one before our login tag. So now we have it here, and let me set it, let me break it. Now we have it here, and let me save it and refresh it here. Here we go. So now we have choose file. So when you click on this, you can select multiple files from your computer, being PDF, image, or any other file. And this is not the only attribute that you can set. You can set so many things, and I can't teach you all of it in this video. That's why you have to go to this website, W3School. So you go to w3school.com and you search for more. So you can visit this website, that is w3school.com, and you search for more. So here, when you come to the form, you have so many examples to learn from this, and you also have code that will help you. And I want to tell you that if you want to learn how to design a website, this page is going to be helpful. You have to visit it each and every day because it has a lot of tools for you. You will not just form alone, CSS and other things. So you can come to this particular website and learn a lot from it. And they have apps that you can download on your phone and learn HTML from there. So now let's look at this. We also have another form element called text area. So we can also have our text area. Text area. And now we can have our text area closed. And we can also have our text area closed. So this is our text area. And now when you save the text area here, you come and refresh. Now you see that we have something like this. This is our text area. So we can type. So let's assume that, for example, you want a person to write something, and it's going to contain multiple of lines. We use what is called text area, and we have a whole lot of it. We can't talk about all in this video. That's why I said visit W3 schools, and there's a whole lot about forms. Thank you very much for watching this video, and in the upcoming video we are going to look at more of forms. Thank you and bye for now.